It seems that Martin Scorsese has changed his mind on Marvel and probably blockbuster movies in general. You know, basically, according to Scorsese's longtime friend, George Lucas, the filmmaker might be coming around to superhero movies or indeed cinema. Yeah, kind of saying a movie like The Dark Knight is not cinema is basically like, because if you're doing superhero movies, you're including all superhero movies. Of course, something like Batman Robin is not cinema, obviously. No one liked that movie. That movie was a horrible mistake, and I think even DC knows that. But a movie like The Batman, obviously, that's what be considered cinema. Okay, a movie like The Batman, which is considered one of the best Batman movies ever made, which again is a very high bow. Okay, you know, it is a very high bow to go across because you have the Dark Knight, you have the original Batman Begins, you also have the old Batman movies from the '90s. Okay, you know, not surprising. Lucas is a Marvel fan. His career is making CJ of his movies because basically, yeah, he made Star Wars. Okay, best Marvel movies more than 5 years ago. But he's basically changing his mind about Marvel. Marvel movies used to be getting good reviews, but not anymore. Critics have soured on him. Was his effect due to Scorsese's garments? Here. No, I think it's because the modern Marvel movies suck. Okay, that's okay. I do not take Scorsese's comments with Marvel movies. Let's watch Quantumania. That movie was god awful. Or the Marvels. That movie was. I haven't watched it, but I heard no good things about the Marvels. Okay, no good things about the Marvels. And you also have the DC side. Okay, a lot of people said the DC movies have dropped in quality. I think these Marvel movies and DC movies have clearly dropped in quality. Okay, because Marvel, they're left with all the B-list characters. Okay, and Spider-Man. Okay. So they have to bring back the X-Men and the Fantastic Four because they don't have any characters. DC, well, they ruined the movies with that awful original Justice League movie. It's funny that the Zack Snyder's Justice League, the one that everybody, like even DC movies, they don't do too well either. It just seems I think it's just modern superhero movies that just don't do too well. And I don't think it's Scorsese comments all due to this, okay? The 11 years of critics and media succumbing to the holier than thou money making machine of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Of course, Coppola and Scorsese denounced them as old men screaming at crowds. And yeah. But yeah, they probably did criticize superhero movies, ranking my list of true masters of the craft here. So these are, yeah. So yeah, it's pretty funny. Again, I think people are starting to get sick of the Marvel superhero movies. Of course, it's just like an era of any other movie. Kind of like how we had a Western era. Yeah, there was also a war movie era. There was a, romance. I think there was even a rom-com romance era, comedy era. I wonder what the next era of movies truly will be, but it seems that Martin Scorsese has changed his mind about Marvel movies, especially probably the earlier movies, because the earlier movies, they do have a pretty good storylines in them. They do, like a lot superhero movies can have some depth to them as well, especially if you watch like The Dark Knight or The Batman. Those are two examples of superhero movies of a very, very high amount of depth to them. Or the old Spider-Man movies as well, or a lot of the Marvel movies that existed, okay, before Endgame, okay, except for Captain Marvel, okay, a lot of these Marvel movies had depth to them. They had characters that had depth, interesting personalities. There were interesting plot lines that, you had, various characters. Like Guardians of the Galaxy, there was like a, space offense, and then he had Winter Soldier, which was like a thriller movie, kind of like that. Or he had Civil War, which was basically kind of like that, two big factions, they had a disagreement over something and they fight. And yeah. There's a lot of good plot twists in these Marvel movies. Like Marvel movies are not just boring, it's the same thing over and over again. Yeah, the newer movies are absolutely like that, but all of the older Marvel movies, the movies did pretty well because people like the storylines and characters. And once you moved a lot of these characters, people didn't really care all too much about Marvel movies anymore. Once you moved Iron Man, Captain America, the two major characters, you moved the Hulk, Characters that everybody loved. He also has a Thor who can't really die because he's immortal. So I think he can be killed, but he doesn't age. He never gets old or something like that. But you remove all the characters, you're left really with a cell of a series, and I think that's what happened with Marvel. You don't really have any of these characters that really made the series great. Okay, you're stuck with characters like Miss Marvel or She-Hulk, characters that people don't really know all too much about, and you're stuck with those types of characters when you lose all the characters that people love the most. And yes, before before obviously there were characters that only the comic people knew, like Guardians of the Galaxy example. Okay, but it seems that Disney does not know how to run the Marvel universe anymore. Instead of introducing these characters like, hey, these are the next generation of Marvel characters, they have said, oh, we don't know how to write these characters anymore. We're gonna do nothing with these characters and let's make them like sidekicks to the already existing characters introduced before. Was already a pretty bad idea, but yeah, because Miss Marvel was kind of like a character like Robin. Like, yeah, that's about this video here, and goodbye.